Hanako Arasaka. Her alter is the actress, the Asian, half German actress in Altered Carbon. I can't remember her name, I'm sorry to say. Her, yeah, the blonde. Yeah, her.
Wasn't she also in that show Dollhouse?
I've never seen that one.
Oh my gosh, John, you gotta watch that. That's really good. It's all about implanting memories and persona. They go in a machine and it gets wiped, and they go on missions.
Oh, cool. I'll definitely have to watch that one.
Yeah. How many people in this audience have watched Dollhouse? Go ahead and put in the chat. So John, you got some fun work to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead and tell us more about it.
I don't know that much about her. She apparently is a parallel incarnation of someone who is in the SFP community. So I don't want to say too much and, put words in her mouth or tell stories about her. So I won't go into detail on Hanako. I will say I wouldn't say she was that likable, but she was one of the few of the family who was respectable. She had an air about her. She was one of those people who, when she walked into a room, she commanded respect,
So in Altered Carbon, she played a role where she was the daughter of a rich empire, a family bloodline.
Exactly, yes.
Did she turn on her family, or she was defending it? It seems like she was defending a family in Altered Carbon.
I'll be honest, I never finished Altered Carbon. It triggered me to the point where I just couldn't watch it anymore.
Is that based on truth, where they could take?
Yes. Oh yes. Every single fucking frame of that show was a documentary. To the point where I'm shocked they got away with it. That show, people, if you want to know really and truly what it's really like, because they don't sugarcoat it. If you want to know what it's really like, watch Altered Carbon. Because, yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right, John.
Okay. 1 minute. Hold on. Okay. Sorry.
All right. So while he takes care of another emergency, we'll go back to our planetary corporations. Let's pull up another one. Let's see. We've talked about. Here's one on Monarch. So this is what ACO has on Monarch. Monarch. The earliest reference to Monarch Corporation dates back as far as 6,000 years ago. The ACO considers Monarch Corporation to be the oldest and worst conglomerate on the planet when it comes to overall negativity and ill intent towards humanity and the planet. Monarch currently has one specific goal: to create the ultimate slave system to control and dominate humanity. Their method of choice for achieving this is by means of space-time manipulation to shift aspects of our timeline and history as they see fit. We are not going into full detail on the mechanics of their technology here, but for anyone familiar with the technology behind the Montauk project, you can imagine that Monarch has access to technologies that are leaps and bounds beyond this. The ACIO has confirmed that Monarch has used their space-time technology to achieve certain objectives. However, as part of the date of this writing, Monarch's primary agenda of dominating humanity and the planet has been disarmed and neutralized, to which we are happy to report. This has allowed our reality to return back to its normal flow of time in linear space. Soft disclosure references to Monarch can be found in the video game Quantum Break, as well as the Godzilla films. And also, isn't there a show, guys? Oh my gosh, there's a new show on that's about the Titans. I was watching it. It wasn't that great, honestly. Does anybody remember that show where they have the Monarch, and supposedly it started in the 1960s to go after these Titans, these Godzilla creatures? So if anybody remembers the name of that show. But let's see, what else can we add to this, to Monarch? I knew there was something I wanted to say, but yeah, I guess we'll let that be. Okay. So John still isn't back yet. Let's go to another one. Kruger. Here's what we have on Kruger. Okay. Kruger, the mercenary Kruger Corporation was established in our timeline in 1815 after the Napoleonic Wars. The organization was founded by former Nazi Gabriel Kruger, who was originally from the year 1815 before he time traveled forward in time to the 1920s to connect with his descendants in Germany prior to World War II. Kruger specializes in building and using physical augments that gives personnel highly enhanced abilities such as greater speed, agility, strength, etc. Kruger augments are commonly used by special operatives called runners, Kruger runners, and that's what I did as well, who specialize in parkour and acrobatics and have extraordinary speed and stamina. For instance, they can run upside down. So you might have seen something like the Matrix movies where they were doing that. So they are typically deployed on espionage and sabotage missions where their incredible speed allows them to infiltrate facilities, steal intelligence, and sabotage key targets extremely effectively. Kruger's augments have also been applied extensively for injured and handicapped individuals and have gone a long way in improving quality of life for certain individuals. The first miniaturized augments were developed in 1922 after World War I, and then went to mass production in 1946, and we are still in heavy use today. Today, Kruger is a military contractor largely aligned with supporting a positive agenda. Positive, I suppose they're not. John, we were just reading this thing about Kruger. Yeah. Tell me if you agree with this. Today, Kruger is a military contractor largely aligned with supporting a positive agenda. The Kruger Group, what do you say? Positive agenda?
Maybe their agenda is not too bad, but I don't think they're a good company given how they treat their employees. And that a lot of their people are made from a lot of these, for some reason, when people draw Kruger assets, they draw them as like sexy, muscled up men and women in jumpsuits. That's not what they look like. They look like the Borg. They replace nearly all of their body with cybernetics and robotics. But inside they're still fully human. And it's torturous being that way from what I hear. So I don't think that they're a good company.
Like, for instance, they would take a super soldier, have a cut open the skull, and have a glass top piece that could come off, and they could put it in.
Yeah, so, or take off the arm and replace it with a Gatling gun. Yeah.
So, thank you. And Joyce is saying, was Freddy Krueger real? What would you say to that, John?
I say that's outside the realm of my expertise, outside of my realm of expertise.
Okay.
Freddy Krueger is basically an astral monster conjured up in people's dreams. What I'm talking about is 3D, real, physical things.
Okay. Well, the way I would answer this question is that the Jack Parsons lab that was located in California was abducting children and cutting their arms off and putting implants in, probably the cybernetics you were talking about. And at the end of the day, they would regrow their arm and put them back. So that's where the whole thing about sawing off limbs and all that. So, all right. So let's see. Are we still in Arasaka?
Yeah, the very last member of the family.
Okay.
Who has a clone is Sonny China, the actor.
How do you spell that?
CHIBA.
CHI.
No, SONNY CHIBA.
Hold on. SO.
SONNY.
Oh, Sonny. Okay.
Chiba, CHIBA.
He looks colored here.
Yeah. He's the youngest. He's a clone of the youngest kid of the family, Inosuke Arasaka. He went to school with Heinrich too. He was a very small kid. He got bullied a lot, and Heinrich protected him. He was a very sweet kid, but he grew into a manipulative, insufferable bastard. put it bluntly. Money corrupts,
So how did it corrupt him?
He just became a terrible person who was really manipulative, and would do anything to feel powerful or special, and usually succeeded because, if you wave enough money around, you can do just about anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, he's no longer with us in the Earth plane.
No,
He's gone anyway.
I have seen no evidence, by the way, about the actor, his clone. I have seen no evidence that the actor was anything other than a good person. I'm not saying anything about the actor Sonny Chiba. I am talking about Inosuke Arasaka.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the end of that family. There will be a lot of stuff about them in my book, and about the company and the history of the company and all of that.
Well, John, when is your book going to be out?
Volume 1, which is before we get to this part, I'm hoping to release on Walpurgisnacht of this year, which is April the 30th. After that, I don't know. Volume 1 will be only 14 chapters. Volumes 2 through 5, which is the rest of them, will all be over 30 chapters at least. It's going to be a very long book after Volume 1. So, I don't know. I hope to be done with it completely by Christmas of 2025.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing, John. Keep up the good work. We certainly, I think, our audience members, I think we all looking forward to hearing about that. Well, I'll keep you in touch, and if we don't get you on before April 30th, let's try to at least get you on for the book promo, and we can talk more about it. Because because you're such an amazing person with all these memories, your recall. Because sometimes we're really struggling here with some people, but everybody's amazing in their own way. But it's still great. That's because you're able to help collaborate information, and that's help provide validity to this community. So, and I think a lot of us are looking for that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. So, is there any other Arasaka members that we need to?
No, I don't think so.
All right. So now we're going to go into Theodore and Marshall, right? Is that the last one?
Yeah. Well, next to last, there is one other company that I want to talk about after theirs. Theodore Marshall, his clone is the actor Ryan O'Neal. Or was, he died. But Theodore Marshall is still alive, and he still looks like he's in his 20s, even though he's, I'm sure, at least in his 80s or 90s by now. Because age regression is a wonderful thing. They're the ones who run the shipping company that ships everything just about in the breakaway. They're UPS of the breakaway and much more. They ship also slaves, genetic material that they've gotten, drugs, illicit money, illicit materials like mineral ores and things that they've stolen, all sorts of things like that. I know them I didn't personally know them very well at all, but I know about the company because my alter Jared grew up in a colony that was more or less a company town run by them, by Theodore Marshall and Company Shipping. And it was a slave farming colony, or, well, subsistence farming, I guess. They were more like serfs than slaves, but Jared's aunt, they rose in favor because Jared's aunt got a job as a secretary to Theodore Marshall himself, which is how Jared was able to go to college and become an archaeologist and all of that. I've never had an opportunity really to do a show about him before, but that would be interesting to do someday. down the line.
Could you, John? Could you tell me again who that person was that we need to pull up?
Ryan O'Neal. Ryan O apostrophe Neal.
Okay, American actor. All right.
Yes.
Pull this one up. Oh my gosh, let's see. Where is it? Here we go. Images.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Try to find one when he's young if you can.
Because they would use re-aging technology.
Yeah.
So that's what you would most likely see in the breakaway.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And so this guy, I apologize if you already answered this question. I was trying to pull something up, but could you please repeat? So he is the clone of Theodore Marshall.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I was actually looking for your report. I know you gave me a report on the different corporations, but I don't know. By the time I find it, it would probably be at the end of the show anyway. So I'll keep looking. But is there anything else you wanted to say? How about tell us a little bit about Theodore Marshall? Is that do they like own the Merchant Marine Fleet, or they just work with them, or it is the Merchant Marine Fleet?
I haven't remembered very much the details of the relationship between them so far. I think that they produce the ships that the Merchant Marine uses, and that they foot the bill for what the Merchant Marine does. I think that's how it works. I should probably go into those memories some more and try and figure that out. But what happened? I totally lost what I was going to say. Oh, what Theodore Marshall is like. He was decent. He was very businesslike to my aunt and to Jared. To Jared's aunt, sorry, and to Jared. And he wasn't indecent to us, but I mean, he probably isn't a great person when you think of what his company is into.
Okay. Let's see your comments in the comment section. We have Teresa says he married Farrah Fawcett.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and their daughter is Tatum O'Neal.
Tatum O'Neal. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He wanted to bed at Farrah's funeral.
Gross.
Are you saying he's a PEDO? They had one son.
No, she would have been an adult by that time, but it's still his daughter.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gross. Yeah, I did not know that.
Are they all like that? And once they get that kind of money and power, it all kind of goes to their head?
Probably. Most of them, yeah. Most of them that I've ever met.
Glenn says, I spent weeks as a printer, printing Farrah glamour posters. Most famous, likely.
Who knows, maybe.
Nancy's asking, do these clones have any idea of who or what they are?
I don't think most of them do, no. Some of them, I think Tom Cruise does. I think that probably Chris Hemsworth does. I think that, trying to think of who else. There was another one that we talked about. Oh, I think that Sonny China probably did. But otherwise, I don't think most of them do.
Okay. All right. So you said is there more about this, or you want to just...
No, really. There's one other company I really want to talk about, the fifth one on this